morning. This is the first of a series of interactive lessons on how to write a research paper. The first part of this lesson will be to go over writing a basic outline when you're brainstorming, and also to talk about an introduction and how this outline then transfers into the form of your introduction and then consequently the form of your paper. So just to begin, I'd like to define an essay. An essay is written to make a case for the validity of a specific position on any given subject. Essay structure mirrors paragraph structure. There is a beginning, middle, and end. All parts work together to prove the validity of a position, and that position that you take will be your thesis. The thesis of an essay states the author's position on a given subject. It conveys to the reader the position that the essay is being written to defend. A good thesis is refutable. If it were irrefutable, there would be no need to defend it, therefore no need to write the essay. A good thesis is going to be narrow in scope. If a thesis is too broad, the task of proving it becomes too monumental for your paper. And the thesis should guide the total essay because everything is written in service of proving it is true. So remember that when you begin to write your paper and you have each body paragraph, you always need to relate it back to the thesis statement, and you need to always reiterate why your thesis statement is true. Okay? So the first paragraph of the essay is the introduction. And in order to give you an example of an introduction today, I've done a simple Roman numeral outline, and the topic of today's example will be baseball, and the question will be, what is the best baseball team in the world? And of course the answer to me, according to me, is the Red Sox. So now I have to go about proving to you that the Red Sox are the best baseball team in America. So you can see that my first sentence is going to be something about the topic. So my first sentence may be something like, in America, we have the greatest sport of baseball. And I'm just going to introduce my topic here. Now, I'm going to give the reasons why a team would be excellent. Okay, so for example, we might have dynamic players. We might have lots of money to spend on the salaries of our players. And we'd also need a good manager and administrative team. So we'd need a good manager and a good coach. And then in conclusion of my introduction, I'm going to say the team with the best and most dynamic players, a large amount of money, and that is able to afford excellent players, and also has an awesome manager, coach Terry Francona, and manager Theo Epson. And then my favorite team is going to be the Red Sox. And this particular outline is an example of a funnel introduction. As you can see, I started broad with my baseball sentence, and then I narrowed down to my original thesis, which is the Red Sox. So you can see that's an example of what a funnel introduction would look like. On the other hand, if I wanted to start with a statement that was very strong and saying something like, the Red Sox are the best baseball team because of this, this, and this, as a result, baseball is the favored nation, that would be the complete opposite. And we call that a pyramid introduction. You start very specific with your thesis and then get more and more broad as you branch out. And then you would begin your paper from there. A more complex introduction is when you have the two combined introductions. You have a funnel on top of a pyramid. So perhaps after this particular introduction, I might have a paragraph on the certain statistics and history of baseball or the Red Sox team, and I would put all of my statistics there to show you how they've done with their championships. Okay, so that's just a quick overview of how you can set up an outline for an introduction. Now, if you look at this more closely, you'll see that this outline can also be the outline for your paper. Your introduction, of course, is about baseball. Your first paragraph would be about dynamic players. Your second might be about the money that you need to have a team. The third paragraph will be about having a great manager and coach. And then you'd finish, again, reiterating your thesis in a conclusion. Thank you so much for this first interactive lesson.